Hi, and welcome to this brief video lecture on word classes. Now, word classes are quite simply categories where we segment words into, basically. I am going to go through 6 word classes today. They are the word classes that I would consider to be the most important ones. I'll go through nouns and articles, verbs. I'll go through adjectives, adverbs, and pronouns. I'll just begin. So the first one, nouns. Nouns, in a very simple sense, you could just say that they are things or people. Okay, I'll write this. Things or people. They are also words that you could have a or the in front of. And these two, they are articles. Now in English, we are lucky to only have 2 articles. While in Norwegian, for example, my native tongue, there is an article for each, for genders as well, masculine, feminine, and a neutral article. And that means that all nouns basically have a gender, so you have to, not only do you need to learn what the noun means, but you also have to learn what gender the noun is. So for example, sun is a feminine noun, while table is a neutral noun, and iPad is a masculine noun. There's none of this in English, luckily. So nouns are anything that you can put a or the in front of. Man, woman, thing, table, dog, anything. So now we've gone through nouns and articles. That's a twofer. Okay? Next up we have, what I would consider to be the most important one, verbs. All sentences need something to happen, okay? If I just write the dog, that's not a sentence yet. We need something, we need some action, okay? So the action of a sentence could be eats, for example. That would be then the verb of this sentence. And then we could, put a full stop there and say the sentence is actually complete. We have something doing something. But verbs then are the action of a sentence. So he walks. Walks is a verb. The sun shines. Shines is a verb. The dog eats. Well, that's exactly what I have here. You can imagine just anything. Jumps, walks, sings, dances. And we will come back to this whole why is it dances instead of dance in a later video. Now let's just focus on the word class itself. A verb is the action of a sentence. Now things will actually start getting easier, because if you know what a noun is and you know what a verb is, I can now just say to you that an adjective, that is a word that describes a noun. So if we take the noun table, you could describe a table as being hard, big, small, practical, useful, idiotic, broken, all of these ones. Stupid, ugly, nice. So these words that you can describe nouns with, they are what we call adjectives. Okay, next up. If an adjective describes a noun, then what do you think an adverb describes? Of course, I could just hear you through time and space here shouting, yeah, an adverb needs to describe a verb then. Yeah, that's correct. It's a word that describes a verb, meaning an action of some sort. Like if I say, the dog eats hungrily, then hungrily describes the eating. This is the verb, while this then is the adverb. Usually you can recognize adverbs by the ly ending. Almost without exception, an ly ending will mean that whichever word you're talking about is an adverb. There are some weird exceptions, like sickly, the sickly man, for example. Then it would be an adjective instead. But for the most part, 99.9% of the time, if you see the ly ending, you're dealing with an adverb. Right. Final word class is the pronouns. Now, I can just tell you right off the bat that we are helped by the fact that pro means for in Latin. And then we can, I guess, reason ourselves to understand that these are words that can stand for nouns. If I have the sentence, the man eats the food. Here we have an article plus a noun, and they belong together, let's say. Nouns and their articles, they can be seen as one noun phrase. So the man is one noun phrase, and the food is one noun phrase. Now these can both be exchanged with pronouns. So pronouns can stand for these. So if I say, for example, he eats it, as long as you know what the pronoun is referring to, this sentence still makes, not only does it make sense, but it makes the exact same sense. So pronouns are he, she, it, we, you, and they. These are the normal ones. There are some other like reflexive pronouns, like he hit himself, or relative pronouns, the man that walked. But as long as you recognize he, she, it, we, you, they as being pronouns, then, well, the job is done. Finally, I'll give you a sentence where you can pause the video and try to segment the sentences into, or not the sentences, segment the words into the correct categories, and then resume the video when you want the answers. The big dog was eating happily. Okay, the big dog was eating happily. Here we have I'll give you like a useful piece of advice to begin with here. Start by finding the verb. That is, I'll come back to this in later videos, but it's a good idea to start by finding the verb. So here we have a verb here and a verb here. Okay. Any nouns? Yes. You have dog, that's a noun. Do we have any articles? Yes, indeed. The is an article. And then what do we do about this big? Well, we can see that the thing that is big, meaning the thing that is being described by this word, is the dog. Then we know adjectives are the word classes that describe nouns. It's an adjective. And finally, happily, we can tell from the ly ending there, this is an adverb. We can also just intuitively understand that happily tells us how the eating happened. Eating is the main verb of the sentence. So happily tells us how, or it tells us the manner in which the eating happened. So that's an adverb. Okay, that's the video. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Actually, hold up. There's a 7th word class that I was originally planning on having a separate video for, but it's better to just, add it to this one. So the word class that I forgot about was prepositions. Now, just judging from the name of this word class, you can logically understand that it has to do with the position of something. So prepositions are then words that tell us the position or the whereabouts of an object, a person, or an action. So, for example, in, on, at, by, for, from, to, over, under, towards, besides. There are dozens of prepositions, but all of them tell us the position of something. So if we go back to our example sentence here, the big dog was eating happily. Let's expand this and say that he was eating happily on the carpet. So here then, on would be a preposition. Carpet would be another noun. And the would be the article belonging to carpet. So there we go, a little bit of bonus knowledge there with the prepositions. Now I'm done, I swear, so have a nice day. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.